Hey guys, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. I'm Melissa Zoske, your Wealth and Energy Alignment Business Mentor, and I am going to talk about the Sacral Chakra today, and just let you know that I have a group where we go over like the little more details on like how to attract more clients, how to get more leads, and to build your business while keeping your energy aligned, keeping yourself from burnout, keeping a sustainable income coming in, and just being able to attract more of that good in your life in all areas of your life. That's what wealth is all about. It's about being able to have health, wealth, relationships, being happy, being able to enjoy the moment, and that is true wealth. So today we're going to go over the sacral chakra. I talked about the root chakra yesterday, and I hope that you enjoyed that, because all these chakras are super important when it comes to keeping them aligned and keeping money flowing in your life, and as I said before, wealth in all areas. And if they're not aligned, it can be hard. I would love for you to download my app, the Chakra Line App. What it does, it's a really quick, a little just energy practice that you can do. It takes just a few seconds a day. You can align all your chakras at once or do one at a time. And you can go to the App Store. It's called Chakra Line. And it has been so helpful, and it's so easy, guys. And you can make sure that your energy is aligned and you're feeling good and vibrant and healthy on that energetic level. And we have so many different energy centers around our body, but the chakras are one of the easiest ones to really deal with and understand, and I love them. And if you listened to the video yesterday, I kind of go into a brief discussion of what chakras are, and I don't want to go into that again here, but I'll just go into what it is the sacral chakra does and how it can affect you. So I wanted to ask you, this is a sign you're imbalanced well, first of all, the chakra is all about how you feel, okay? This is about your desires, and ironically, it's located right below the belly button, right above the pubic bone, right where those sexual organs are. And if you put your hand like right below your belly button, that's where that chakra is going to be. It's the color orange. It is such a powerful chakra because it's really what is rooted in our desires. It's where our heart, I know that we have heart chakra and all that, but it's where our heart is, where we want to put our energy toward. It's what we're taking steps for. It's what we're getting excited about. And that chakra is one of my favorite because that holds where the money vibration is as well. So it's one of those ones that you really want to make sure that you're in alignment around. And lots of things can derail you from this if that chakra is out of alignment. So one of the things that you can recognize around this is you may have beliefs like fear of lack, of not having enough money, or if you have money, maybe you are always worried about losing it. That's a huge clue that your sacral chakra is out of alignment. Maybe you avoid thinking about money. Maybe you don't want to know about money. I've been guilty of that. It's like, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. It's like, if I don't know, if it's not there, then it's not there, right? It's like you don't have to like think about it. So it's so funny how we have so many people that avoid talking about money. We have people that avoid thinking about money. A lot of times it's because we fear that if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, then you shouldn't be talking about money because that's not about being spiritual. But money is how we trade. It's how we buy things. It's not what we should be focusing on 100%. But if we have negative thinking about money, obviously it's going to become more of a negative problem. So making sure that your sacral alignment is there and you're not worried about money too much, that's a huge clue. The other thing is if you are having low self-worth, this can come into play when your beliefs, like maybe you aren't worthy of having money, or you're not worthy of having clients or getting new clients, or your program's not really worthy of bringing in those kind of clients that you want, or making sales, right? There could be beliefs that I'm bad with money. That's a biggie. Or maybe you have an old belief that I just don't save well. I'm not a saver. Those are beliefs, and beliefs are things that you tell yourself over and over again, trying to, you tell yourself over and over again and you start to believe it, all right? That's all a belief is. You're saying the same thing over and over again until finally you believe it, and that becomes something that's true. And so if you believe that you're bad with money, you're telling your cells that every day. Your cells hear it. It's sending out this negative energy to the universe that you are bad with money, and you don't want that. So that's where the sacral chakra comes into place too. Those beliefs are tied to that chakra. When your sacral chakra is inactive, you may have difficulty living in this moment. And a lot of these chakras overlap. They have similar things. But if you are always looking forward, or you're always looking in the past, blaming the past, or worrying about the future, worrying about whether you'll have enough in the future, those are the kind of things that saying you're not living in the now. What can you do right now? Live in this moment. In this moment. Maybe you can't appreciate life right now. You're not appreciating what you do have. A lot of the things I do for that are doing my daily self-gratitude. So things that I'm grateful for about myself, or even about things in my life. And that kind of helps you appreciate life more. The other thing is maybe you're stiff or unemotional. Maybe you're emotionally disconnected. That's a sign that you have an inactive sacral chakra. Always having your guard up, always not trusting people, always self-protecting. Those are things that can give you another clue. Always missing those opportunities. I don't know about you, but I used to miss opportunities all the time. I would miss it by a day, or miss that connection with the person. I was looking for somebody like this last week, and I found another person. Oh, you would have been perfect. Oh, those missed opportunities. That's energy. It's not just, bad timing. It's because your energy's not on. It's not spinning at the right angle. It's not pulling in those good opportunities. So you're not able to really see the full benefits of what your energy can really bring into you. And it can bring in a lot of opportunities if it's aligned. You might always think, well, it's never the right time. It's not time for me to do this. I'll know when the time is right. I'll get a message, or I'll hear some guidance. That's true. You want to listen to your inner guidance. But if that never happens and years go by, most likely it's your sacral chakra. It's or at least one of them that's off. It's like you need to look at those as clues. If it's never the right time or place or opportunity, you are the one self-sabotaging yourself. And most likely that's because you aren't balanced. That energy's not aligned. I always start with energy, guys. If your energy isn't aligned, most likely what you're doing is not going to work. Even if you are doing the best marketing, maybe you have the best SEO, maybe you have the best team helping you, but if your energy isn't aligned, you might do a little bit of good stuff, but you are really sabotaging yourself from big, big successes. So pay attention to how your energy is, okay? Now, when your sacral's balanced, your feelings, for one thing, flow really freely, okay? You're not over-emotional. You're very even. You're steady. That's not saying you're not going to react or respond, but you're not going to have too much of a response for the situation. If you are overreacting to a situation, that's a sure sign that you're out of balance. It's like, what's going on? I shouldn't be overreacting to this. This is not that big of a deal. But if you're blowing up and freaking out, that is your clue. So not being over-emotional. You're open to intimacy. Oftentimes when you're not intimate with your partner, or you're not intimate with friends, it could be sexual, it could just be a friendship relationship, whatever that intimacy is to you, if that is not there and you're feeling guarded and you're not able to open up, then look at this, because the sacral chakra is right there, and that's where your desires, that's where your sensuality is, that's where you are having that excitement and passion about life and about, just the flow. So look at that. Again, it's balanced if you're passionate. It's also, another clue is you're full of positive energy. When you wake up and you're like, yeah, today's the day, I'm feeling awesome, then most likely you are balanced, which is so amazing. The other thing is you're not having problems expressing sexually. So that's part of that sacral chakra, that's your desire zone, that's where you're passionate. All of it's connected. So if you're not passionate in your business, most likely your bedroom practice is out the door too. So it's a good sign. So this is where when you work on one thing, you're working on everything. So you may be working on your business and all of a sudden finding, wow, everything's looking up, So pay attention to that because that's also another gauge. An overactive chakra is all around being over-emotional. Again, you overreact to things. Look for those triggers. If you're over-responding or overreacting to things, then that's a sure sign that that sacral is just like it's not going the way it needs to be going. We don't want underactive, we don't want overactive, we want balanced. You're unpredictable. It's all of a sudden you're hot, then you're cold, then you're hot, then you're cold. You're so unpredictable that maybe people don't want to be around you anymore because you suck the energy out of them. And you know who you are. And I've been that way before too. It's like either you're really negative or you're really on it or somebody says something and you jump on them. I mean, we've all been there at one time or another, and that's a clue. So don't beat yourself up. Just look at it as a clue of what you need to balance. The other thing is you easily explode, which is kind of still the same thing. You're exploding over those things. It doesn't take much. It's like people are walking on eggshells around you. You can tell. You walk into a happy room and people like shut down all of a sudden, that's your sacral chakra. Check it out. It's so funny how people miss this. So if you have an overactive sacral and root chakra, which remember we talked about the root chakra yesterday, you could have difficulty accepting rejection. I mean, not everybody's going to love you, and if you freak out and start putting blame and that person's this and or you're a victim or whatever, not everybody's for everybody, right? We're not going to be loved by everybody. So difficulty accepting rejection could be a thing. So if you're talking to a new client and they are not wanting it, let them go. It's okay. Don't get steamed up. Sometimes I'll get that way, like, oh. But usually what I'll say is, I am not going to force somebody. I'm not going to push or pressure somebody to work with me. If they're not feeling it, I don't want to work with them. So that's the healthier way to have it. You don't want to be like, what's wrong with them, blah, 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 or blame them, or worse, even, I guess it's not worse, but blame yourself and start beating yourself up. It's not a good scenario. It's not good. The other thing to look for is being overly attached to people. If you find yourself, overthinking about a friend or maybe a potential partner or even your current partner, if you're overly attached to people and you can't seem to stop that, that is a good sign too to look at. It's another clue to look at your sacral chakra. If you think irrationally or you're impulsive about making decisions, instead of thinking things through on a deeper level, if you just make impulsive decisions and you're just jumping in, you're like, boom, done. Boom, I'm going to buy this. Ooh, boom, I'm going to buy that. Then I would definitely think twice about whether you're having an overactive sacral and root chakra together at the same time. The thing is, too, what I find with a lot of people, especially clients that are building their practice, is a lot of people get stuck in buying programs. They are constantly buying this program for $200, this program for $1,000, and this program and they never really get through any of them, and they're always in learn mode. That is usually a sign that the root and the sacral chakra are out of balance because they're always, then they do it pretty quickly. You're like, you want it right now. You're like, ooh, it looks good. It's like shiny object syndrome. You want it, something new, so you drop the last thing that you're working on and you go for the new thing. Or you could just be a lifetime learner where, not really lifetime, because I consider myself a lifetime learner. What would I call that? It's like a serial certifier, I guess I could call it. A serial certifier. You're always getting certified in new programs because you don't think you have enough, but you see it, you purchase it immediately, you have to have it, it's the next best thing, and you jump on it. That's usually a sign that something's off balance too, because at some point you have to take that education that you've gotten, if you're always feeling like you're inadequate, you don't have enough, you're not good enough, you're lacking in some way, there's something underlying with that. It's an energy block, could be a belief. A lot of times it's the sacral chakra because you have that lack mentality, and it's a lot of times that root and that sacral that are combined together. But it's usually a sign that you aren't aligned, and so you continually stay because it's safe to continually getting certified in more modalities. The problem is you're never bringing in income, and you're never doing the steps that it takes to bring in those leads and income, and that's where we want you to get to. And just the basic part of this is having your energy aligned in that higher vibration where you're actually attracting that income that you want. So you could be an employee for someone. You could just be an employee. I have a lot of clients that just want to raise their vibration. They want to get their energy aligned, so they attract that raise. They attract that promotion. And if you have these out of alignment, you're actually pushing it away. It's going to the next person who is more aligned than you. So when you're aligned, you want to get moving. You want to work with people. You want to get the action going. You're not hiding behind more certifications. You're not being a serial certifier. And it's one of my favorite things because I used to be a serial certifier. And finally, one day I had one of my mentors said to me, at some point, you are going to have to start earning something from, why are you doing all these certifications? Well, to help people, but you're not helping people. You're just taking another course. Well, then I can help them more, but you're never helping people. You're always just taking another course. So it was like, okay, so I took a year off because I am a lifetime learner. I took a year off to just be working on marketing and putting myself out there, and that's when my business really took off. And now I'm really choosy about where I put my time because getting certified in all these modalities can actually suck your energy and your time up so much that you can't actually work in your business. You're always working on your business. You're not in it helping people. And that's what you're here for. That's where your passion started, right? Your passion, if you haven't watched this whole video, go back to the beginning. The passion starts with a desire because you went through this yourself. You probably went through some health issue, or you went through some challenge in your life that was so profoundly deep that you were probably hitting rock bottom and you needed the help. And you found a way to help yourself. And you were so good at it that then you had to share it with other people. You wanted to share it with everybody else because you couldn't hide it from them. You wanted to see other people get better and to be more successful and to be able to not have fear in their life and be struggling all the time. And that came from your desires. So if you're just serial certifying and you're never helping other people, look for those blocks. Look for what it is keeping you out. And the sacral, like I said, is one of the common ones for that issue. So when you're balanced with this chakra, one of the beautiful things is you're able to seek out opportunities to make money. So what does that mean to you? Seeking out opportunities to make money. And that can come in so many ways, right? You could be looking for collaborations. Like on Instagram, I have people reach out to me and say, hey, I noticed that you work with this and I'd love to collaborate with you. And so maybe I'll send out an email with their opt-in, and they'll send an email out for me with my opt-in, and that just helps our lists grow. Because when you're sharing what you do, you're giving you're actually putting yourself out into other people's, in front of other people's tribe, and that spreads out your visibility, helps you grow your business. That's an opportunity. And when you seek out those opportunities, maybe you're going to ask to be on a podcast, ask to be on somebody else's podcast, or you start a podcast and ask other people to be on yours. And one of the things you may be doing is saying, okay, if I'm going to be on your podcast, then I'm going to share this to my list so that they can actually listen to your podcast, and vice versa. They share it to their list. Those people get to know you better. That is an opportunity. And there's so many opportunities that you can be working with other people that you can collaborate with. One of them that I love to do also is be a guest expert for other people's programs where you're an actual bonus helping them. So for instance, I could do an MP3 that would help people balance their chakras, since that's what we're talking about today. And that would be the balance. And I'd do a little mini class for them. Those people would get to know me better. They would get on my list to get more information and get more freebies, and then eventually buy one of my programs or work with me one-to-one. And it's just a great way to get your business rolling, right? Same way, when they're on my program, I'm also giving my program more value. So it's a win-win for everybody. They're getting exposure to my people. I'm getting better value because of offering another bonus. And it's such a win-win for everybody. That's the opportunities that you'll seek out. You'll want to seek out. You won't be hiding from it saying, well, this is what I want to do in the future, but you don't do it today. You want to do it right now. And that's when you know your desires and that passion is really open and balanced. Another thing is money. Another thing to know that you're balanced is money does not trigger negative emotions in you. Like I was talking earlier, that lack mentality, that fear you're not going to have enough money, the fear that you're not going to have that security in the future. When you are always worried about money, that sends out to the universe fear that you'll never have enough money. You guys know about the law of attraction. When you send out fear you won't have enough money, you're not going to be bringing in enough money. It's bottom line. You will not bring in enough money. So remember that what you put out, you get back. That goes for with anything that you're doing. Like when you are always like trying to get free things from people and you're never investing in yourself. Like if you're a mentor, you're trying to be a mentor, you're trying to be a coach, but you're always only looking for freebies from others, most likely people are only going to look for freebies from you. So invest in yourself. Invest in your business. Don't be fearful. Buy a mentorship. Buy a VIP program. Work with mentors one-to-one, because what that's doing is sending out to the universe, that's the type of client you want to work with you. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you're always looking for freebies, that's what people are going to be looking from you too. So be very careful. Freebies are only there to help people get to know you better and to help them just see that you can help them. And if you're trying to build your whole practice based on looking for freebies and just kind of piecing it together, then that's kind of working at it from a negative. So keep that in mind, especially with law of attraction. The other thing around the sacral chakra with your money is when it's inactive is negative emotions regarding money come up. You're angry. Maybe you have sadness. Maybe you feel ripped off. Maybe you've had a bad experience, like the stock market crashed, and then you can't get that out of your head, so you never invest again because you have that fear that that will happen again. And so with that, those negative emotions are keeping more money from entering your life. Okay? You could win the lottery. You don't want those negative emotions coming in around money. Money is the root of all evils, one of the big ones that come in, and money's dirty. I remember you had a parent tell me, money's dirty, don't pick that money up off the ground. And I was like, money's dirty? You can sit in your cells replaying that loop, money is dirty 24/7. That goes out to the universe. The universe sends back, you don't want money, it's dirty. So remember that. The other things with an inactive sacral chakra is you have blocks in your creativity. And what this does is it hinders your money process. So if you have blocks in your creativity, you might not be able to come up with ideas for creating a new program. You don't come up with creative ideas for how you're even going to reach out to people. Your creativity is totally strangled. And that sucks because as an entrepreneur, my creativity is all over the place. I'm writing stuff down. I remember waking up one time at 1 o'clock in the morning and I sat from 1 to 6 with these cards that I was writing down. Each card had different ideas of how I could work with people. I could do, a 6-month mentorship. I could do group programs, and I had each list. I woke up with that creativity and I knew I was not going to waste it. So I sat down with these big cards and I wrote down at the top Facebook group mentoring, I think was one of them. And then I had what I would do, weekly alignment. I would have weekly energy corrections. I would pick different people to sit in the hot seat. That was just one card. And I think I had 120 cards or somewhere around that time that I woke up. And my husband woke up the next morning. He was like, oh my gosh, did you do all this last night? I said, yes, my creativity was flowing. So I knew at that time my sacral chakra was on fire. It was like, boom. And so I had to make sure that I sat down and wrote it down. But if it's inactive, you're just not having any ideas. I don't know what to do next. I have no clue. I think I'll watch some Netflix. Not that there's anything wrong with Netflix. I love Netflix, but in moderation. So that is when it's not working. So keep that in mind, all right? If you guys feel this is helpful, please make sure that you share this. Just share it to your page, your personal page or group. I'd love for you to do that. And I can't see, I'm not seeing real well here. I see that Erica's on here. Hi, Erica. You're doing so good. Oh, shiny object syndrome. Yeah, I know. Shiny object syndrome has been, that was one of my big ones because it was always like the next latest and greatest, and I'm certified in so many modalities now. Many of them I use. I test each one of my clients to see which, with each session I test to see which modalities will be the most effective for them at that time. And sometimes I even test for outside things that might help, like for instance, sometimes people are toxic and they think, oh, I'm toxic, so that's just my physical body. But when you're toxic, your energy is connected to all your cells. It does affect your energy. So I might say you should get an ionic foot bath, and I'll test how many minutes. Start with 10 minutes, and then after 5 days, do 12. And then after 5 more days, do 15, and kind of work your way up so you don't have too much of a healing response from that. And so with my practice, that's one of the big things I do is we test to see what's in your highest and best good at that time. And it could change week to week. Once you've used it for a month, you might not need it ever again. Sometimes you don't need it for 6 months. We test it again, and oh, there you go again. Maybe you're around something toxic in your environment. It could be toxic people in your life, whatever that is. So we just kind of look for that, and that's all around just checking on your energy and seeing what you need. Kind of going off on another tangent there. Okay, so what can you do to easily, I have ways of balancing your chakra. I've got so many really powerful ways, but one of the easiest free ones I have right now is my Chakra Line app. I'm going to post in the comments the link to that. If you have an iOS device, you can download it, and it just takes seconds every day. So look into that because you're going to love it. It's one of my favorite tools. And if you don't have an iOS device, I'll go ahead and post my quantum key method, and it will help you align your energies as well. And it helps, you might want both, because the quantum key method helps align all the energy centers. It takes a little bit longer, but I like doing all of it, so you can have both. I'll post them both down below so that you can actually get them easily, all right? If you have any questions, you can ask me. But some of the things you can do today are you can dance. Your sacral chakra is around your hips, right? So it's like right down there below your belly button. So shake those hips. You can kind of dance and shake your hips, get that action moving. I love that. Sometimes I'll ground myself at the same time and just kind of do some hip movements and just kind of dance around. I don't have any neighbors, so I can do that freely. The other thing is water-related activities. I love being around water, and like right now I have waterfront in front of me. I have a stream next to me. Water is very healing. You can get in water. Hot tubs even helps if there's sea salt. Using a sprinkler, having a water fountain inside your house. A lot of people do that. Very helpful. Making sure you drink a lot of water is very helpful. And that's the next thing, hydrate. The other thing is to eat orange colored, since the sacral chakra is orange, eating orange colored foods is very helpful. And your body recognizes that, your cells recognize that. So making sure that you are getting a lot of carrots. That's a good one. Carrots are beautiful. And I do crave those when I notice that sacral chakra is out. The other thing is wearing orange clothes. That can be helpful. Some of us look good in orange, some of us don't. Different shades. Peach, kind of considered an orangey color. But if you, even shoes, some people wear the orange underwear, whatever it is that when you're feeling that day, you want to like amp it up a little bit, just find some orange clothing. I just saw a huge bird. It looks like a pelican just landed in front of me, here to get his fish. They are huge. They're like stormtroopers around the water. I should show it to you. Maybe he'll swim closer and I'll turn the camera around. So it's always something new. We have these blue herons. They're walking around and they're prehistoric looking, and you got the fish jumping, and it's just so cool. Lots of baby ducks right now. I know, I digress. All right, so the other things you can do that's really good is, aside from the app, is to meditate. And a lot of times I'll meditate like a bubble around me. And I usually do white or golden light around me in a bubble, and I meditate with that, my eyes shut, and I visualize. And just meditating and visualizing beautiful orange around you can be very helpful. It's usually when I meditate, meditation alone helps balance all your energy centers. Just shutting your mind off helps you tremendously. The other thing I love to do is the healing code. And if you go to my website, melissazoske.com, you can download the free universal code. And that is basically using different hand positions to balance your energy centers. And I have a free meditation on that. What I love about that over just regular meditation is you can focus on something that makes you feel good rather than just shutting your mind off completely and not thinking about anything. You can actually focus on a happy memory that you've had. You can focus on something you want to create in the future and how that would make you feel. It's all around emotions, right? So you're grabbing the emotion of, oh, this feels so good, or the moment I looked into my son's eyes when he was first born and our eyes locked, and that feeling of intense love and connection. I grab that memory often, and I grab that feeling and pull it in, and I'll just lay there doing the hand positions from the healing code, feeling that emotion. And when you're doing the hand positions, it amps it up 100 times. And I love it. And when you remember everything is helping you attract more. So whatever you're feeling right now, you're putting that out to the universe, and it will send that like vibration back. So more connection, more high vibe, more love, more opportunities. When you feel good, those opportunities are money, and those money will help you. Money is, to me, a way for me to help other people as well. It's a way for me to give back to society. It's a way for me to give back to different foundations and things that I like to support. It's a way for me to help people that need it. It just gives so much more opportunity than when you don't have any money to do that. So it's security. You know, it's not about having material things. Having material things is okay, but just remembering what's the root of this? What do you really want from this? And if it's just about buying a car or a house, most likely you're going to have a harder time making it and keeping it coming in, keeping that sustainable income coming in, because there's that why. The why you're doing what you do, which is related to that passion in your sacral chakra, is not there. Why isn't it there? What's blocking you from that? Once you find that why and you get excited about it, that's when the true abundance starts rolling in. All right, guys. I love you guys so much. I want to show you this. I'll show you this beautiful outside. You can see the water. I don't know if you can see that pelican out there. It's beautiful. I love it. It is just the most fun to see what's going on out there. What I love about living here is it's always something new. Always something new. And these pelicans, they get together in these groups, and I call them stormtroopers, because they get together in this group and they go around and they herd all the fish over to, it's like, reminds me of like when you're collaborating with people and you kind of like, let's get all these groups of people together and then give them the opportunities. Well, these stormtroopers, another one just landed, they get together in a little group of like 5, and they herd the fish over to the edge, and that's where they start reaping. Oh my gosh, they're over there. They are crazy. Wish you could see it. I don't think I could blow it up big enough for you to see, but I'll post some pictures later so you can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. But they just work together, and they create an opportunity to reap those fish. They're like, let's sow these fish in, and then we're going to reap them. We're going to do this together. And that's collaboration. I tell you, that's the best form of nature's collaboration. My husband doesn't like them because they eat all the fish, but oh well. All right, guys, love you so much, and I will talk to you tomorrow and or maybe Monday. I'm not sure if I'm going to broadcast over the weekend or not, but we're going to go over all the other chakras and help you figure out whether you're in alignment or not, and give you some easy ways to stay balanced with that. All right? You take care. Bye. Mwah.